So this is our very last vlog for Digital Media 2. We got to choose whatever we wanted to do for this vlog from what we've done in the past, and I wanted to do kind of the final production game review and discussion. This game has been a lot of fun to do and produce and design for, so I just wanted to kind of give a last little rundown of where we're at and what's been going on. So today, as I'm making this video, it is Tuesday, which means our game is due tomorrow. So I have been doing a lot of last minute like touch-ups on things. Like I've discussed in the videos in the past, I've had to do a lot of like saving files in a lot of different ways for the gamers based on the type of game that we've made. So I had to resave a bunch of files in a different format. The way that the gamer, or the way that Josh, which is our programmer, explained it to me was to kind of like package them in a GIF and kind of do it as like a frame by frame animation, but it's not an animation, it's just like a building that is separated into files because I have to separate out anything that needs to be colored a different color. So for one building, I have a frame of the building itself, a frame for the windows, a frame for the door, a frame for the roof, a frame for the stairs, or whatever else it may be. I went really hard this past weekend and finished all 3 level designs, or all 3 level graphics, and got the city done, the neighborhood done, and the park done. It took a lot, but I was able to finish it, and the more I did, the faster I got at it, because in order to do the different frames or the different files, I had to be really careful about separating things onto layers so that it would be easier for me to do that and I wouldn't have to go back and separate them out later, which is what I had to do for the first game because it wasn't made totally clear exactly how we were going to do the color mechanic yet. So I got all of those backgrounds completed. The main characters walk and run were done last week before we went on break, so that was a really big like weight lifted off my chest. I was able to do a jump and a walk for the enemy, and then this is my least favorite graphic of the game. So he's like a sludge monster enemy character, and when he gets defeated, like the goal or whatever is to suck him into your gun because he holds the color that you need to put in your tank. And so they wanted me to do like a vacuum suction animation, and I butchered it. I didn't know really how to do it. I'll put it on here. So if they don't use it, it won't hurt my feelings, but that's the best I could do with the time I had and the idea. Like, I just couldn't wrap my mind around what that was going to look like. The very last things that I've had to do are really just like finishing touches, so I feel really on pace, and I hope that they feel as on pace as I do. So yesterday I did a graphic for like instructions, and I'll put that on the screen as well. And then I did a screen that's really simple, but it's kind of giving the storyline of the game. So the whole storyline that the designer came up with was that this grandfather has made this gun for his granddaughter, and I assume that the idea was that the grandfather has passed away, and so he has left this gun for her to use to recolor their town. The designer came up with all the names, and I think they're awesome and hilarious. So with the instruction page and the letter page, I think it will really help with the whole story about your goals and what you're supposed to do once the game starts. They have pretty much everything they need from me, which is good because if they do need something, I'll have the time to, you know, crank it out really fast. The programmer is the kind of guy that really like wants to be very thorough and debug everything and play it a lot until it is perfect. So I feel totally confident that we're gonna have a really great game at the end of this because he's also the kind of guy to like stay up all night until it's done. So with that being said, I am really excited to see what our game's gonna look like. There was a little bit of confusion last night about what exactly the designer was supposed to do and what my graphics were like gonna look like. Like I think the producer had in his head that like the objects that I was creating were in a set place and that the designer was gonna be able to like move them around and whatever, because if that was the case, then I would just be cranking out a bunch of random buildings and not like seeing them in a consecutive sequence or whatever, which I did. That's how I created them in an order, and I've given them like a reference image to go by. I thought the designer's job was to then take that and like say, okay, she can jump on this building, but this isn't going to be a platform. It would be best if she could go through this way, but we could block off this way, and kind of use those graphics as a guide for the level design. I don't know, maybe I was totally wrong, but we had to kind of work that out, and the producer, I hope he was like okay with kind of what we came up with in the end. So I believe, based on what we talked about, that the designer is going to go in and replace my objects exactly how I had them, which was what I thought was the original plan. And so I'm glad we worked that out without a whole lot of heated discussion, but we did. I have enjoyed this game so much more than my first game. I think because I'm really excited about the concept and we had more time, and I feel like my teammates are a lot more eager to do the project than they were in the last game. I have new teammates this round, so I think it was just overall a much better match for both of us. I've talked about Nasib's dancing background. He's a really cool guy. Josh is our programmer, and he like talks all the time about how late he stays up and just, you know, does schoolwork or whatever. And then James is our producer. He's a really cool guy, and we always make fun of him because he eats like a ridiculously flavored Pop-Tart every morning. Like when they would come in for class to join us on Friday mornings, he would have like a strawberry cupcake cinnamon Pop-Tart, or like just literally a Pop-Tart flavor that I've never seen in my life. He would come in there and eat it, and he's like a married older guy, and so it was just funny to see him eat this really pretty looking Pop-Tart. So I am really excited to see it, and I'm really excited to see everybody else's. So that is it. That is the last vlog. Thank you, Heather, for letting us do vlogs because it was really different, and I do a lot of writing in other classes, so I was just really glad to be able to do something different and kind of make a different form of content for a class and get graded on it and whatever. So thank you for that, and thank you for the whole class. It's been really fun, and I would do it again, and I would definitely recommend this class to anyone thinking about taking it because it's been a really great experience to work collaboratively like I know we're going to do in the real world. I wish that other concentrations in other areas would take this class as an example to see how successful it can really be. I know there's been a lot of frustrating components about it, but that just comes with collaboration, and if we can like get that frustration experience kind of out of our systems the first go around, then we'll be a lot better equipped to deal with that frustration in the future. And wow, that was like a soapbox, sorry. But I was really happy to work collaboratively, and I wish that we could do it more as a department. So thank you so much for watching. This is it. I don't have another vlog coming, so I hope you've enjoyed everything that I've put on here, and